Rob Ford, Donald Trump, Margaret Atwood, and The Handmaid's Tale. What, you might ask, do these four things have in common? I'll tell you what. Political warning, that's what. Rob Ford was the first to boldly go where no politician has gone before. In standing up for the taxpayer, he broke the age-old tradition of pretending to be for the little guy while actually gouging this same little guy as much as possible. Don't you just love the way the progressives narrate and virtue signal? No matter what they tell you, it all comes down to this. They want to have control. Control over what you eat, smoke, drive, and most frighteningly, what you think. It's a creep, folks. It doesn't happen all at once. In fact, you'd hardly notice that our freedoms are slowly being stripped away, little by little, piece by piece, unless you're paying close attention. Rob Ford knew this, and the ordinary man and woman rewarded him with a stint as mayor over Looney Tunes Toronto and its band of merry progressives. Had he not passed from this earth well before his time, I have no doubt that he would have been re-elected to the job with a healthy majority. Rob's election gave many of us hope that we might be saved from the social justice warriors who masquerade as caring and compassionate when what they really want is to dictate to you and I what sacrifices we must make, whilst marching to a different drum altogether when it comes to following their own moralizing pronouncements. Rob was the beginning. The seething masses couldn't wait to stick it to the political elites in Washington this past November when they elected, against all odds, Donald Trump. You could feel it in the air as election day drew near. I fell asleep before the election results were announced, but what a joy it was to wake up to the news the next morning. Hallelujah, I and many others rejoiced. We dodged another progressive onslaught. All is not lost. And indeed, these two unlikely figures, Mayor Rob and the Donald, have come to represent our best chance at escaping the fate of Margaret Atwood's Handmaidens, a book now made into a television series that heralds a grim future for our Western culture if we do not wake up and stop the socialist creep. Because make no mistake, folks, it is a creep, infiltrating our schools and hence the minds of our young people who are fast becoming the leaders of our society. Here in Canada, Justin Trudeau would have you believe that carbon tax and the environment are the two most important dangers facing us today. He's shown his love for China and Cuba, and is, like most progressives, in love with Muslims and Islam, where Sharia law permits human rights abuses, not dissimilar to the horrifying treatment of the handmaidens in Margaret Atwood's novel. Rape, slavery, genital mutilation, and other restrictions on the freedoms that we take for granted here and now. And not that much of a fiction if the progressive agenda is allowed to continue to infiltrate our lives. Rob Ford was hounded almost to death by the progressive media. Donald Trump is facing a similar witch hunt as I write this script. There is violence, fake news, and incitement to civil disobedience, all in the name of doing what is best for us little folk. But don't be fooled. It is a Trojan horse with very bad people hiding their true intentions. It is a political warning to all of us who value life and liberty and the freedom to be as we choose.